This is the core. Yeah, my Nordic is all pep, well, the exception of the sewing bits. This is the core for the shield for the Macleod build. And to keep it nice and con friendly, it's 5 mils narrower on each side than it's going to be when it's built. So at the moment, from side to side through the apex there, it's 48, it's 48 centimeters, 19 inches. When I finish, it's going to be 58 centimeters. I'm pretty damn close to 23 inches wide. Now that scale is from my reference images over here. Ding, 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 ding. Right. Let's see what I'm seeing. He has the shield there on the left arm, on the forearm, and you can see the height of it. But there you go, from where he's gripping with his hand up to his elbow, this is a small shield. It's not massive at all. Now the guy I'm building the shield and sword for is a hefty kind of guy, so I'm erring on it being a little bigger rather than a little smaller. And in fact, with the 10 centimeter increase in this cardboard size, in this MDF size, it's actually going to be the same dimensions as my Nordic carved armor helmet, shield. Stream. Okay, how do you get round cardboard? Cake decorating, trace around round stuff, make a compass. What I did was I put a thumbtack in the middle with a piece of string with a loop on the end of it, and stuck my pencil in the loop, kept the string taut on the thumbtack, and drew the circle that I wanted. Okay. So like I said, the plan is to laminate this between 2 layers of foam. Now, his shield, like I showed you in the reference image, boom, 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 and quite clearly seen in this one, is flat. There ain't no Captain America dome to that shield at all. So this construction is going to be dead set simple. Ding. Might take your satellite dish off your roof. Oh, okay. As long as you're not using it. So that works perfectly in the middle of one of these big sheets. When I trim off the border all the way around, we're going to lop it off and just right up against the edges there. So I'm going to glue it with the flat side to the board, because both sides of this are going to be covered with that fake pleathery stuff that I get with this stuff. Technically DirecTV owns it, but they... Oh ma, you said a rude word. My dear, poor sensitive eyeballs. And stuff. So yeah, glue it down, sandwich it between the two, tidy up the edges with the Dremel, and then sand all that texture off with the hand sander during the day when I'm not scaring the shit out of my... I will beautify it for you. You'll fletch them, will you? That's how it's said in Utah, is it? Oh, only if you happen to be a hooker. Okay. I'm a hooker with a heart of gold, question mark. It started off as a statement, but ended as a question. Okay, so we've been getting the hooker stories the past few days. Do I want to know? 57 is going to be 25, 28 and a half. Wait. I live in a small casino town next to a very religious-centered state. Therefore, I'm a sinner, and somehow people confuse you for being a hooker. There's stories of going apes past when people thought she was, but she isn't. I wasn't even looking like what you'd consider to be a hooker, yet you get offers. Wait, what exactly does a hooker look like? You know what? Doesn't matter. Utah is a weird place. Yep, I'm starting to get that feeling. But, like, don't they have saints? $300 going a lovely long time. Well, 3 hour long time. Exactly, they have Saints, the Utah Saints. Well, they have a song. Okay, that shows how uneducated I am. Salt Lake City and Utah, I never drew a line between the two. I never realized Salt Lake City was in Utah. But why would I? I'm in Australia, and that shit doesn't really... Yeah. They're expanding the airport in Salt Lake City. They're creating a missionary greeting area, so when missionaries come home, normal people don't have to be inundated with all their family and the signs and the balloons when they're just trying to get where they're going. Oh, I thought you had to meet visitors in like a whole different position than normal, but now you've explained it. Yep, Ullaroos just outside of Sydney. Yep. Smart ass. Most of us culturally sensitive Australians still call the fucking thing Ayers Rock. You'd love to visit Australia and do touristy things. Well, okay then. Moment, my son and his girlfriend are visiting Japan and doing touristy things. That's what I was telling Furry too. Love to visit Scotland and not do touristy things. Oh, you'd love to visit Australia and not do touristy things. See, it's your accent. It's very freaking confusing. You live in a touristy place. You live in a fucking desert with sand and no water in your garden. You considered a trip to Sydney, but I don't think I could make it work for just a week. You would need like 2. And 6 large casinos. There we go. Sand, rocks, and 6 large casinos. It sounds like you live on on a fucking Indian reserve. don't cater to locals, in which I get confused for a hooker because you're a local. I would have thought the casinos and the hookers would have some sort of, you know, reciprocal deal thing going on there. Half-rate hotel rooms for use by the hour, that sort of stuff. You might be able to use that confusion to your own advantage. You need a week to get over the jet lag? I reckon you might do. Don't know why you all want to go to Sydney, it's on the other side of the country from me. With hookers comes meth. I would have thought with drug addicts comes meth. Don't necessarily have to be a hooker to be a drug addict. Wait. I've seen your stream. There's no way on God's green earth you look like you're a meth addict. See? So confusing you for a hooker is now fucking confusing me. A week in Perth and do stuff. Dude, you can do Perth in half an hour. Come to Perth and help me clean up all the viruses off my computer. Format my hard drive. You know, all that stuff that you non-computer mates ask you to do because you work with computers. You format my hard drive. Crims, you already do, man. It's odd and nuanced, and you could spend a lifetime explaining Utah culture. And you have. Well, spent a lifetime explaining Utah culture. You can do it for free too. What are you going to do? All I can do is pay for the plane ride. Seems to be slightly more expensive than free. You're going to Amsterdam. I'm doing 3 touristy things though. You've narrowed it down to 3. Okay. You're going to look at the hookers, just so that you know how to describe an actual hooker to those people not knowing it when you get home. Going to take a look at the hookers. I'm going to go to the Museum of Sex, and you're going to eat food off a street cart. Wow, you party animal, go girl. Crims, however, is going to take a boat so he can sing that song. I'm on a boat. Also, I can do that. Look at your man. Now look back at me. Now look at your man again. Sadly, I'm not your man. I'm just Crims. When I travel, I like to eat street food. Don't eat the food off the street in Australia. Somebody probably stepped in it. At least the normal touristy thing in Amsterdam isn't on the list, yes. Crims, did you really think you needed to? Thank you. I love you. But honestly, the conversational divide is not that great. I understand what street food is. We eat off trucks here in Australia too. We call them garbage trucks. The homeless people do it all the time. So I can eat pot gummy bears at home if I were so inclined. Or were you telling Going Ape that one of the 3 things on her list you can do in Texas, and that's to eat food off a truck? Oh, okay. Got Lou. You know what? I think I just totally misread your entire post there about gummy bears, and it's only just twigged. You weren't talking about eating a pot of gummy bears, you were talking about eating pot gummy bears like hash browns. How do you keep your brush soft in that pot of glue? How do you store it when you ain't using it? The brush stays soft in the pot of glue because the bristles stay immersed in glue. And how do I store it when I ain't using it? By putting the brush back in there and putting this little plungy cap thing over the top of the handle and the reciprocal pipe that it sits in. For the millionth fucking time. Let me swing it around into camera view so you get a better idea. So that's my glue pot there. So you can see the glue level across here. The brush is constantly soaking in glue. So yeah, just like that. Is this MDF board's a bit thirsty. You're never too old. You holler out there to your hubby. Hubby, you want to eat your dinner off my belly? I bet he says yes. Besides, kinky is tickling your ass with a feather. Perverted's tickling your ass with a whole chicken. He'd say no, we've been there and done that. Oh, there you go. Too much information, I reckon. There's been much novelty in 24 years. Okay, see, hey, there are children. La 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 la. Poor chicken's worn out. Well, you've got a couple of kids there, so I guess, yeah. Actually, I don't know what to guess. I'm just going to sit here painting my bit of wood with my glue. You have conceived of things to do with a chicken. See, look, poor Fan. She's done 3D printing. Yes, we did have that conversation. With her uterus. La 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 la. Paint my bit of wood. Nope, that can't be taken out of context. Well, not considering the theme of our current conversation, of course not. Purely harmless comment to make. Okay, I'm gonna have to empty the rubbish bin out. But not right fucking now. I found this handy dandy little pen for drawing on foam. Handfire is now hosting my stream with one viewer. Thank you very much, Handfire. It's not by Sharp, it's my uni, and it's a chalk marker. He's wonderful. He's putting white lines on dark coloured foam without any issues. Han shot first. He did. I don't care how often they re-edit it. Give that a minute or two just so that shiny slick bit there all disappears. And then we're going to stick that down to that circle of foam. And then I think, friends, I am going to call it a night. It's 3 AM. I'm getting weary. Going ape and Neo and all those other wonderful people in my stream are being crude. I don't mean that oil you get in Texas. Thank you very much, Finn. Crude? Us? Never! No, whatever was I thinking? I must have been referring to those people who watch that other Texan guy, yeah. Pies and salamanders! You just priced a trip from here to Perth, just cause. Okay, you still sitting? How many of your lovely American dollars would they like you to spend to come and see me here in Aussie land? $1,400 and 36 hours of flying time. Yay! That sounds like fucking shitload of fun. 36 hours strapped into an aerocraft. A layover in Abu Dhabi. I got friends who flew out from Perth to Abu Dhabi today. From, 5 degrees to 42 degrees apparently. So that's stuck down. So tomorrow's mission will be to cut another one of these foam circles. But first, I shall attach the straps. I'm going to call this side here the inside of the shield. I'm going to attach the straps with pot rivets with the Melbourne layover. And I'm going to do that before I attach the front foam on. Earthquake! So that when I put the pot rivets through, I can put a washer on this side of the pot rivet before I can press it down so that it pulls down onto the washer and not through this 3mm MDF, because I'm kind of clever little clog thinking like that. Okay. On that note, yibbida yibbida. that's all, folks. So, let's grab this, put it there, and do this, and put that there, and go. Okay, gang, I'm Tyrannus Cosplay. Thank you very much for sticking around for the stream. Thank you very much to all those new followers, and thank you very, very much to Finn for resubbing for 2 months in a row. Woohoo! Well, good afternoon. Yep, it's daylight. Daylight, crying out loud. Since when does that happen? I'm working on the Macleods Shield, which goes along with the Macleods Sword, which is sitting right there. You can see the handle there and the blade there. Yep. It's a 2-part commission that needs to be finished for a fortnight's time. So I'm going to do some work on that right now, and then maybe later on tonight I've got to work on the Graves shoulder plate for another commission that needs to be finished in the same time frame. So, let's get down to business. Okay, previously I cut out a disc of 3mm MDF, and I made it, there we go, 19 inches for you Yankee fellas, 485mm across. Okay, then I cut out a foam circle, 40mm wider on each side, and I glued it to the MDF board. The MDF board is going to be the core for the shield that gives it some strength. Now, the shield that Connor Macleod carries into his first battle in 1586 or whatever, 38 or whatever it is a flat shield. There's no curve to it. It's not dished. So basically I'm going to sandwich this MDF board between 2 layers of foam. This is going to be the outside face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel the edge a little rounder. Okay, so it's a little curve. Then I'm going to glue some of this butterscotch suede material all over the surface. Then I'm going to lay down the studs on it and the boss that I made earlier. And making the boss was really easy. All I did was get a piece of 5mm foam, right, for the dome bit, heat it up and push it into the inside of a roll of gaffer tape. Okay. Then I got a brand new roll of gaffer tape, sat it on a second piece of foam, drew an inside circle and the outside circle, and cut that circle out. Slid my dome into my little cutout circle and contact adhesive it together. It took the tread off the back and rounded off the outside edge a bit. So that's going to be the boss in the middle of this particular shield. Now, there is a very distinct pattern on Connor Macleod's shield of studs, and there are, according to my notes, 28 large studs around the outside diameter of the shield. Then there are another 12 inside that. Then there are 8 more inside that, and then there are 4 more inside that. That's 52. The problem is there's also another 84 smaller studs in a pattern as well. And I think, yes I do. Here's one I prepared earlier. So, pink. The green studs that you can see are the small ones. The orange and yellow, the orange and red ones are the large ones, and they're the same size. I just did them 2 different colours to help me coordinate the pattern of this red cross, which is very distinct through that. Sorry, I've got the mouse way over to the side there, and I find it hard to control. There we go. There's 2 parallel lines of red and 2 parallel lines of red, and then there's those 5 orange ones in each quadrant and an orange one at the end of each of the green lines. So yeah, it's a very symmetrical and easy to follow pattern. There's just lots of it. So let's turn the screen image off and go back to the stream. So the first step now is, I've gone over this with my handheld belt sander and taken all the tread off of the foam, of course. So now I'm just going to grab the Dremel with the sanding drum and I'm going to round off this outside edge. Luckily for me, the 60 grit sanding drum kind of lives on the Dremel. So excuse me while I sing you the song of my people. Which isn't really that loud with the Dremel. There's a bit of dust. So I'm going to put my little dust catcher mask on. So I'm just going around one more time to soften out the curve that I've put on the outside edge of the shield. Yeah. So because I'm going to glue material down to this, I want to get most of the dust off of this that I can. Skizzers? Now this isn't the same material that I normally use for the leather or suede look. My material store doesn't seem to have any of that in stock anymore. However, this is a suede look material, which is going to work fine for the suede part of the shield. And there's no flock backing on this one, which is a little bit of an issue with the old stuff that I was using, this stuff. Because it's actually 2 layers of material, and sometimes the glue will separate the 2 layers, whereas this is only 1 layer. So I'm thinking I will not have any issue with separation once this is glued down. Yay! How wide did I say that thing was? I think at the widest part it's 57. Okay, so I need to cut a strip off of this, or a square off of this wide enough to cover the entire face, but also wrap around the edges. Then when I glue the back on, I'll also wrap that in the same material and wrap it around the edges before I put the 2 together, so that the material is sandwiched between the 2 pieces. Yep, then there's a border strip that goes around, so that's not an issue. Okay, let's mark off about 60. I'm pretty certain that this was more than 1.2 as a linear, because that's going to be kind of important. It's only 1 meter long. Yeah, okay, cool. So we did 60 from that end there. How's Mike? Well, look who's not. You're not streaming. Why are you not streaming, dude? Huh? Have you got pants on? Is that the problem? How are you, brother? Yes, it's been a little busy on the domestic front, mate, so streaming has not been as prolific as it usually is. And I got these commissions to do. You're buggered. Okay. I've got to get this shield knocked out and the shoulder piece for Graves done before a fortnight, yeah, for Evolve. So, have you been working on craft-wise anything, or been working every moment you have? Did 40 hours of work in 3 days. Okay. Are you still doing the same thing? You still caring? Okay. Alright. Cosplay wise, sweet stuff all. Been working on buying more computer stuff. Fair enough. Will we at least see you at Evolve? Be wandering around? It's on August 26th. It's $15. It's a day con at the Perth Town Hall in the CBD. Should be able to make it. Walk the Stormwind Guard. Sweet. I'm hosting, or co-hosting I should say, one of the panels with Kira Lee, Astro Carey, and Major Sam. So that'll be fun. Schwanky indeed. I'm going to put my skizzers. Right there. That's where I put them. I'll be the token old guy on the panel. Come to think of it, I'll be the token guy on the panel. You went to IKEA for work. Yeah, sure. Looking to get Jon Snow's cloak, were you? Well, I suppose with 40 hours in 3 days of work, you can afford a new computer table now, can't you? I'm not that old. How old do you think I am? Over 25. There you go. See, I am that old. Get down there, you. How's stuff with me? You know, same-o, same-o. Can't wait for winter to be over so that my DJ business picks up again and I can start making some money. That's always a bit slow this time of year, although my quizzes are still keeping me paying rent, so that's a plus. And I got commissions coming out my fucking ears, man. Got another inquiry today about making a Lagertha shield from Vikings, but with some custom quirks to it. Saw that post fucked up your item. Yeah, the axe that I made for the 1,000 Facebook followers competition that I sent to New Mexico never made it any further than Los Angeles. Took them 5 days to get it from here to LA, and then it sat in LA for 43 days before Australia Post went, you know what, I think we've lost it, we'll give you a refund. So now I have to make that winner a replacement. And I'll send it the same way that I freighted Jon's sword to him instead of using the postal service again. Right, I'm going to need that. He's a bit fecked, yeah. Feckin' fecked, mate. Feckin' fecked. got to finish this commission, which is for a Perth lad with a handover at Evolve. I've got to finish the knee parts for, the leg armour for Graves, and make and finish the shoulder piece for Graves. Also for another local Perth client, so that's okay. I have to make an ancient Nordic helmet for a UK client. And that was after I explained like import tax and cost of freight and all that sort of thing. He still wants to go ahead, so that's okay. He's also talking about getting a steel greatsword, but he wants to wait until the new expansion pack for Elder Scrolls Online comes out, because there's a hint that there's a new skin for the steel armor, and he's interested in seeing that and making a decision on what version he wants after the DLC drops, whether he wants to stick with the original skin or whether he wants to upgrade it. And then I have another Perth client who wants 4 weapons from Skyrim. So yeah. Oh, and then that Donald Duck plaque that I did, that guy's come back to me with a proposed Christmas present for the same person who received the duck plaque from him. Plus, I want to knock out something relatively easy for myself to wear to Evolve. Something that I can actually host the panel and sit down wearing. Borderline full-time work? Yeah, if I want it to be. And plus there's the trip to Sydney for the competition. That is in like 6 weeks' time. So the end of September. As well as working on the Nordic, which is my personal big project, of course. I'm only as busy as I want to be, mate. I don't have to take commissions. I can always tell them I'm too damn busy, but while the DJ business is quiet, I may as well make money doing stuff that I like doing, eh? Okay then. What else would I be doing? Working on my own stuff. Yeah, well, there is that. I haven't done any work on my own stuff for a couple of weeks. I'll get around to it. Hell is what? This, it's the cap off my glue pot. I got given a glue pot by a mate of mine who is a cobbler. You know, those little stores in the shopping centres that do watch and shoe repairs. Well, yeah, he's one of the shoe repair guys at one of those, and he noticed that I was taking my contact adhesive straight out of the can, so he got me this glue pot that they use for shoe repairs. The brush sits in there, and when it's stored away, that puppy goes over the top. So it's a little different than the ones we're used to seeing on the streams, but is just as effective, or defective as my case may be. And perfect for doing large areas like this. Okay. Hey, Shed Headquarters! Fed said to you the other night that I had a new glue thingy. Yeah, I do. I get this new glue thingy here. So it's a cobbler's glue pot, this one. So yeah, as long as the volume stays above that line, then the glue doesn't dry out. It's going good, Shed. How's it going for you? Keep yourself busy. Hopefully get some stuff done. Yep, as you freaking dare. Finalising the Sun's Viking build for Book Week. Almost finished with the detailing of the vest. Beauty! There are any snaps, or are we keeping it on the lowdown now until he wears it? This stuff is so much thinner than the other suede I was using, or fake suede I was using. Yeah. It's part of what I was afraid of. I don't want it soaking through the suede part, but it's going to. It's cold. Cup of tea's cold. God damn it. Oh, thank you for that auto host there. Paola Blue is now auto hosting. Also threw my name in the ring for a cosplay contest run by my local reverse garbage store. They're picking 5 people to make a cosplay out of 90% recycled gear from in-store. Sweet! I love that idea, man. No pics yet. Probably take some tomorrow. Love the best. Okay, there we go. I think let's see if we can make a can. Oh, far out. Look at the goddamn bubbles in that. What a fucking mess. I've said I'll make a Samurai Vader outfit out of old vinyl records. I both like that idea and are saddened by it. Saddened by the fact that there is such a thing as old vinyl records. But I love what you can do with them. Okay, got the air bubbles out. Means now we work from the other side across. You'll make sure you don't destroy anything worth listening to. Good, good, good. Siron, good morning. How are you with weird time zoning? It's late in the afternoon here. Well, mid-afternoon. It's, what is it? It's 3:30. 20 past 3. Whatever. So you have been commission crazy of late. Too freaking right, dude. I've not worked on any of my own projects for the last fortnight. This shield and the LOL character, what's his name? Graves, the knee pieces that I've been posting up, and his shoulder piece. Feed and Nate, good morning. Yeah, so that Graves costume, well, the pieces to the Graves costume and this shield both need to be finished for a convention in a fortnight's time. Then I've got a guy in the UK that's already put down a deposit on a ancient steel helmet and an ancient and a steel greatsword. It is somewhat good and somewhat annoying. I'm on a panel at that convention for cosplaying, for competition costumes is basically what we're cosplaying about. What the panel that I've been asked to sit on is about. Basically, do we approach competition costumes any differently than casual costumes and those sorts of things? What to expect when you're going into a competition at the different levels and all those sorts of things. But I haven't got a costume of my own to wear to the con at the moment. I don't want to wear my Nordic because I won't be able to sit down at the panel wearing that. My Kylo Ren got damaged last week when I wore it to work. I know, what were you doing wearing your cosplay costumes to work? I was making money. So I have a wardrobe costume with just a little bit of build that needs to be done. So I think I'll be able to push that through. Hello. So you're garage sale hunting. You don't like coffee, eh? Well, different strokes for different folks. You all know I prefer my tea, although I don't mind a cup of coffee every once in a while. You caught the vodcast of the Dark and Furry show with Casey Renee today, and she gives some great feedback about competing and judging. Now, here's something. Why am I getting different notifications now? I'm getting, whatever Fate of Nate has gone live on Twitch, and now I'm getting these things called vodcast notifications. What's the difference between going live and doing a vodcast? I don't know. Spiderwebs, spiderwebs. Just trying to fix a sword you broke and starting to work on a gun that your friend wants. Cool bananas. Yeah, I had a look. I got my email from Comic-Con about just touching base about my... Oh, VOD is just rerunning a stream on your channel. Ah, okay. Cool, so I could do that on the days I'm not streaming to give me ongoing presence, I suppose. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, I got my email from Comic-Con about my trip to Sydney, asking for when I would be available to fly and all that sort of stuff. So I started looking at the logistics of getting my armour in this road case that I have, and the armour will fit fine, but the sword's about 20 centimetres too goddamn long, and it won't fit in diagonally because of the amount of space that the suit takes up. So I've got a couple of options. When's that all going down? In 6 weeks, the last weekend of September. So literally September 30th, October 1st, I'll be in Sydney, and the competition, I believe, is on the Sunday afternoon, the 1st. So basically they wanted to know when I could fly over, when I could fly back. Let me know the parameters of my prize. How does fuck off sound? Is that convincing enough? No? I could freight it over and freight it back, I suppose. It's an option. So now there's 3 options. I was considering looking at it now that I've had a bit more experience and I know what I'm doing a little better with the construction of my weapons, about making it sectional again, removing the handle or simply just parceling it up in a second piece of luggage, which I think is my more preferred option. So I can fly over with me and I'll take 2 pieces of luggage instead of 1. They're paying the excess luggage, thankfully, as part of the prize. You see, even Twitch has some affiliation with the Comic-Con cosplay side of things at the moment too. You know, Twitch like packs. I think Comic-Con's part of the same affiliation. Have we done many Supernovas? Yeah, the only 2 big ones that we get here in Perth are Supernova and Comic-Con. Then we have a slew of much smaller ones, like this one in 2 weeks, which is a 1-dayer. But yeah, the 2 major conventions that come to Perth are Comic-Con and Supernova, and they're normally about a month to 6 weeks apart. They're in the same location. So yeah, I've competed in both. I've won bits and pieces of both. Because it's kind of handy being a small community like ours. We get to meet all our mates over and over, regardless of what banner is above the door. We get to nerd out and check out each other's builds, and then it goes quiet in the off season, of course, so we all just hang out online and stuff and build. Brisnova in Bris Vegas. My girl, my eldest child, lives up on the Atherton Tablelands. I spent quite a lot of time over in Queensland, well, in FNQ. All going well, you'll be going to it as Samurai Darth. Yeah. Made a whole pile of studs to go on this thing. The whole front of it is covered in studs. So I made use of that crappy bits off the edge and punched them out with a bit of aluminium tube that I'd sharpened the end on. There's those big ones, and then there's smaller ones. See, they do Supernova Gold Coast at the start of the year, then Briz at the year's end. Oh, sweet. And you get Comic-Con up that way as well, of course. Well, I normally use those, and I trim them on a 45 to do the raised details on like Warcraft armor. And that's normally all the use I get out of them. But I grabbed some scrap to start punching those out of and went, you know what? There's a shitload of material sitting right there that I could use. This is it's going on really smoothly actually. I'm not seeing any really crappy air bubbles in there much at all. Mind you, I wish I'd cleaned the ruler before I started. So it's going to have a little bit of age on it so it'll match the sword. I think I might do that bit in one piece, do the whole. I'm using the jigsaw bits to spread glue. Made a bulldog clip connected to an old paintbrush handle. Yeah. Waste not, want not. Okay. We got some photos from my kid today, my boy, from Himaji Castle. He went there. It's one of the places he went when he was on his school exchange when he was back like 16. So he's taken his girlfriend there. It always amazes me. He tells the story of when they were there. As they walked in through the front doors in Himaji Castle, these big swinging doors. One of the other people on the tour looked up and there are these thin sticks pointing back at about a 45-degree angle out of the roof, pointing straight down. Like pointing at you as you walk in. So he asked the tour guide, what were the sticks, what's the significance of them? And the tour guide just smiled and went, those are the shafts of arrows from the last battle here, as they fought up the hill to get in through the gate. And they've been stuck in the roof since the mid-1600s. I'm going, God damn. They have arrow shafts in the roof 400 fucking years old. That's Ridiculous. Oh, what's going on? I do believe in fairies. Well, hello. Siron, see you later in the night if I'm still streaming. Gonna catch some Zeds. No worries, man. Get some rest. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do this, and I've also got to do some work on the Graves costume. So yeah, I'll be streaming for a while, I think. I might take a break to throw food down my throat or go get my daughter from the train station, but other than that, yeah, I'll be on for a while. Yeah, I thought it was awesome shit. I just kind of drove things home about how sophisticated some of us believe our countries to be when they were having full-on warfare and stuff. Quite longer than some of us believe we've been sophisticated and what do we call it? Colonised, yes. Because we weren't the first ones here. God, that's cold. How's everyone doing? Yeah, most of the peeps in chat seem to be doing fine, Fairy. I'm doing okay. Working on this bloody commissions. Fella's got to pay the bills. All right. Got my little boss there to sit in the middle. And I do believe in fairies that these are too thick. I need to trim them down a bit. These are the studs that I punched out of the out of those strips. Like I said, there's 28 go around this outside circumference. And there's 12 around the inside circumference, but there's like they're way too far apart. You try and find the motivation to work on your repetitive cosplay. So I don't have that layout right at the moment. But where's my? I think I still have my reference image. I do. Repetitive, hey? Repetitive, hey? Repetitive, hey? This is the that's the stud layout on the Macleod Shield. It looks like a fucking Christmas tree, I know, but that was to help me work out. These ones that you just watched me lay down are the orange and reds, the larger ones. There's 28 around that outside circle, and there's 12 around the next circle in, 8 around the next circle in, and then 4 in the centre. And then those green ones are smaller ones, and I bought some adhesive bead thingies for those. There's 84 of those on that pattern. The reason that I did red and orange for the larger ones was just to differentiate that cross pattern in the middle, which is the main symmetry that the big ones are built around. So there's the red cross, and then there are 4 orange ones around the outside, 1 orange one around the middle one, and a orange one in the centre of each of the cross pieces. So I'll mark that all out symmetrical and glue those down. And I've also got to do the same with the smaller ones for the green pattern. They're not going to be coloured, those. In fact, they're quite shiny in some of the shots of this shield. Alright, let me just pull this back so I know where I'm at. There we go. I win for repetitive things. It is an epic layout, and like I said, I called it in. That's Photoshop, of course. I called it into Photoshop and color coded it, just so I could get a better read on what I was doing. But yeah, I think these are going to stand too proud, so I'm going to cut them down, cut about 2 mil off of the thickness, and then I'm going to hit them with the heat gun to get rid of the fur, because I set the Dremel up in the jig that I've got, and just use it as a grinding wheel basically. I punch these out with that aluminium bar, and then just with the Dremel cut the hex on the top and squared off the sides of them. What's that? Wouldn't be that bad if I still had some wrist and no micro metal shards stuck into your fingers. Oh, okay. So these are the big studs, and took the daughter when I went to get the material from Spotlight, which is a haberdashery craft store. And I came across these. These are self-adhesive acrylic pearls for sticking on invitations and shite, but they're half domes. So these I'm going to use for those small studs on here. Don't work with galvanized steel metal plates without gloves. Thanks for that. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, so let's throw that down there on the floor. And the boss as well. Boink! Now obviously all of this stuff, the studs, the boss, and these little pearls are all going to need to be painted before I glue them to that sheet. So what I want to do now is going to watch the laboriously boring process of me cutting these down in width. No, they weren't rubber stuff. These are for wedding invitations. These are half pearls. They're from the not Papercraft. What the hell do they do it? So these are hard. They're plastic, and like I said, they're half pearls to stick on wedding invites and shite. They're adhesive, but I think I'll be using super glue, what do you call it? Cyanoacrylate CA glue. Yeah, that bastard's blunt still. Fancy bits for adult crafters, yep. What's that bloody crafting trend with the square pieces of paper? You know, where they put photos on, but they not decoupage, bloody well. Yeah, the craft store sells little bloody well nicks and knacks to go around them. Using unusual materials for cosplay is quite common. Indeed it is. I had the same girl in Spotlight today when I went to buy the material. So what are you making today? What are you building today? She knows better not to ask me what am I making. I'm going to use it to cover a shield. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, she never knows which way to jump when I go in there, because sometimes I am legitimately buying material to sew stuff. I'll make costumes for my granddaughter and stuff. And at the moment I've got a bunch of pink stuff with stars all over it that I want to make a... She got this dress thing given to her from a friend. It's just got this really cool shape to it that I reckon I could make her a nice... elf type costume. It's got that kind of lay to it. So when I asked her what kind of elf she wanted, a pink sparkly one. Oh, okay. Usually say I'm making a bomb. Yeah. That's one of my ones when I go to the hardware store. What are you making? Oh, a bomb. Or a gun. Or a sword. Or an axe. You know, just weapons. Whoops. That I could feel on the flesh of my finger then. Fun thing is trying to cut these flush so that they They're still going to sit flat instead of cutting them on an angle and having them sit off to the side. Yeah, when you have to make a minotaur penis, there's no easy way to explain that. No. How many times have you had to go in and make a minotaur penis? I'm a little worried about you, dude. What sort of cosplay are you into? My old man ran a vending machine business. Cheapest to get cans of Coke. Wait. From Coles on special. So a few days before the year 2000, we walked up with 50 boxes of Coke. Checkout chick asked what we were doing. We said it's the end of the world. Next week, Coke will be a great trade item. She thought I was serious. I was working for a major metropolitan radio station. Well, when for New Year's Eve 2000, and I had to spend New Year's Eve 1999-2000 at work because everybody who had computer nous had to be on deck because they were worried about the Y2K bug shutting down all our systems. We had hours of programming backed up on reel-to-reel. Do I happen to know the movie that references a minotaur's penis? I'm not familiar with that line of dialogue. Or do you happen to know the movie Your Highness? That's the name of the movie, is it? Okay. Well, if it's a fizzer, then that might explain why I'm not familiar with it. Yes, of course links are allowed. How else can we see your wonderful crafting if I don't allow links? Oh yeah, that's nice and sharp now. Give it a bit of a clean and get all the filaments out from the pores of the sharpening steel. It gives it the opportunity to actually put an edge back on your blade. Well, it won't be my way in progress. It's just the image reference for now. Yeah, go for it. That's all right. Kind of a silly movie. All the best movies are. See hair, a forehead, eyebrows. I know that guy. Dude, look at the ribs on the top of the sword. Looks like vertebrae. I'm liking that. Don't like the pointy tip on the handle though. What? That's a Minotaur's penis hanging around his neck. Okay. Fair enough. That literally loaded like an old bloody well dial-up internet access then. Oh, unicorn sword. Fair enough. What's that? Nice work on Dark and Furry the other week. Well, I wasn't sure what the hell they wanted, whether they wanted like Deep and Serious or whatever. So they got that. Furry with his Fosters. Jesus Christ. Don't know whether he's trying to take the piss or whether he actually drinks that crap. Scottish, shouldn't he be drinking a fine whiskey? Well, I'm racially profiling, am I? The week after... Well, the week after with me, you broke them. Good. Aussies for the win. I think I saw an outtake with you and the bloody throwing the boomerang to shut the bird up, the galah. That fucker's messy. Hate doing a reverse sharp. It was yours. Try to hit as many Aussie stereotypes in the hour. Crikey. You had some fairy bread. Mate, it's not a party without fairy bread. And you played a little didgeridoo as well, did you? Oh, I'm fucking upset I missed that now. Pie and dead horse for brekkie. Mate, you're not having a mixed grill, that's what you're having, isn't it? They weren't a fan of the fairy bread. Bloody piss weak bastards. Apparently he's still got all those Tim Tams left too. And a puppet kangaroo. What am I looking at? Instagram. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop cutting them in wedges. Shit. Oh, mate, you got bit by a shark. Little more maple syrup on your maple syrup. What are you, Canadian? Mate, we have dead horse on our pies. Croc was in the pool 5 minutes before going live. Two to go. Okay then. Still ride horses as our main transportation with our red suits. Do you always get your man? Dudley? You've embraced the cork hat look for your remote now. Did you have to explain why? Why don't you just use a can of Peebo? Hit 'em high, hit 'em low, hit 'em with the old Peebo. What kind of magic am I doing? Well, I'm just hitting all of those with the heat gun to try and get rid of all the burrs and stuff from where I cut them and sanded them. And it's much easier to leave them in the cup and hit them than hit them on the table and have them blow all over the place. They thought it was just a fancy ass hat. Oh yeah, that's what we wear when we're going out on the tiles, isn't it? I think that worked well. They all seem to be deburred and they all seem to be looking like exactly what I want them to look like. Little licorice buttons. I likes me some licorice. Good. Not too uniform because I don't wear the... You're melting the chocolate. Yes, it is a plastic cup. It's a yogurt container. But it worked well. Like I said, they're all rounded off now. They're all heat sealed and they're all clean from the burrs from cutting and sanding. Snap. Crackle. And pop, yes. Yes. And pop. Okay. Scrap cardboard. Have to mount them now on the piece of cardboard so that I can spray paint the little shades. I'm looking for my pins. Time is on the opposite side of the world. It is 10 past 4 p.m. Shed is on the other side of the country from me, so it's about 2 hours later for him. Holy cow, what? There you go, see? 2 hours later for him. Yep, and that's 4 a.m. on Friday morning, or Saturday morning, because, yeah, 12 hours and a day behind us or something like that, I think. Because it's Saturday afternoon here. The Fox Barrister, how the devil are you? I didn't see you sneak on in there. Crafty like a fox, no doubt. Saturday morning, so yeah. It's Saturday afternoon here. Fox Barrister is now following. Thank you very much, Lee Fox. Appreciate the follow. Hope you find the content interesting. Mostly make stuff out of foam. You'll see some social media links there across the bottom of the screen if you're interested in checking out some of the other work. I live on Facebook a lot. There's a shitload of progress photos on that Instagram. And most of these streams you follow me because of the fox joke. Okay. Well, unfortunately I don't have a channel full of jokes. I apologise for that. So what I'm doing is I'm just laying out a matrix of pins. I know that I've got about 54 of these little beggars, so I'm just going to lay out 5 rows of 10. Flip this over and push the pins all the way out, all the way through, so they're sticking up, and then wedge those little beggars on the end of the pins, so I can take them outside and spray paint them later on. And, obviously, because they're so little, even the air out of the aerosol cans would blow them around the place. So this should stop that from happening. Yeah? Yeah. You will hear plenty of Fox this and Fox that here, yeah. Because I narrate in conversational Australian English. Which means the words bloody and fox might be said a fair bit. Particularly when stuff doesn't go the way I want it to. Have I shown you guys the leg pieces for the Graves armour? I'm quite happy with the paint job on those. That's another little bit that I have to do today. Thought bloody was only used in Britain. Mate, no. They stole it from us, little bastards. We just had an advertising campaign for the tourism board commercials that we played overseas promoting Australia as a tourist destination, and the catchphrase was, "Where the bloody hell are ya?" They're some bloody bastards then. They bloody are. Bloody bastards. Some of these pins are coated with paint from the leg pieces that I just mentioned, which is why I'm finding them hard to go through. Lara Bingle! There you go. Indeed. Lara Bingle. Okay, so now I have my Indian bed of nails. I'm going to put these little suckers on those and get our little pin board of death that we prepared and start pinning these on here so I can spray paint them. Yeah, I like them. I'm very happy with the finish that I got on those. I got some inch wide ribbon there to join them together with so that they flex and move when he's walking. And I purposely rounded off the top of the thigh piece as opposed to the image in the artwork, so that when he sits he doesn't get the very sharp peak driven into the crease between your pelvis and the top of your leg, because that's uncomfortable. What the heck are these? What are the bids or the bits? Or cheers. Basically it's a way of helping support my stream. You buy them, I believe, and if you like my people's content, you cheer. Each cheer is worth $1 US. When the streamer gets $100 US worth of those cheers, then Twitch pays that amount of money to the streamer. It was just the domain of Twitch partners, and now Twitch affiliates like myself have the ability to have subscribers, and I have been lucky enough to have 5 subscribers who pay $5 US a month to keep my channel alive. So yeah, basically a donation, yeah. Little 1 cent donations that all add up at the end of the day. So many little mushrooms! Mario would be so happy. Just making sure that I'm actually pinning these up. There's a demo! Shed Quarters cheered 1 demo! See? And in the cup. Doing, 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 doing. And now Shed's Headquarters name goes up the top of the list there as being the most recent person to cheer for me. Thank you very much, Lee, for that. Bummed we can't get free cheers for adverts like our American friends. Absolutely. Love to pay attention. Would love to pay attention, but I would have to take out a loan. Love to pay attention. Zombies making Star Wars shirt. Oh, okay, that's one of her automated posts because unfortunately she got carbon monoxide poisoning from her work vehicle. And long-term low-key brain damage apparently. Working on a list of superhero costumes, and most of them have utility belts. I have costumed at least 40 boxes of raisins. Consumed at least 40 boxes of raisins. So I have inserts for the pouches. Well, it's one way of keeping your bowels regular, isn't it? Drives a Ford Explorer. Actually, she's a police officer in the United States. I don't know what her patrol vehicle is. But, unfortunately, yeah, carbon monoxide poisoning. So yeah, I just had advice pop up there in the corner of my screen that because I subbed to her YouTube channel, it's just reminded me that she's, or just informed me that she's put up a new video. But she did mention that she had some videos locked and loaded to go because she can't craft at the moment. No brain strain allowed. Which is a shame because I like watching her. It's a huge issue over there right now. Oh shit. Well, in Australia you're either a Ford driver or a Holden driver, and I got to admit I'm a Holden driver. So they're all pinned up now and ready. I'm gonna. She isn't allowed to critically think. Yeah, can't put her mind under stress, and thinking critically is mild stress on your brain. Yeah. So unfortunately that negates her ability to problem solve while she's streaming. So those little beady buggers will also need to be spray painted because they're going to be the smaller beads that I put on that. I would drive whatever I could find and afford. Yep. I hear ya. That's the mentality I'm instilling in my daughter. I want to get a Subaru Impreza. How about you just worry about getting a car that you can afford to keep on the road? Okay? WRX, that's what she wants. Making rivets for armor. That's exactly what I'm doing, Sancho. Well, not so much for armor, for the Highlander Shield. Same if you get bacterial yes. I'm doing those studs on that shield. So the red and orange ones are these black ones, are slightly bigger. The green ones are the pattern that I'm going to use for those pearls that you just saw me lay down there. I'm obviously not getting painted that colour. That's just to help me decipher the layout of the pattern. I think if we go over here and we go diddle diddle here and we go here and we go here and we go here and we go here. That shield that he's holding there is the shield I'm making. Yeah. We did the sword already. Blah 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 blah. There, as he's riding away from the into battle. See, so they've got to be metally, iron kind of look. I've got some iron look spray paint there, and they go on a leather suede looking shield. There's no wood grain that I can see, so it's definitely not wood. I'm going to assume it's a leather coated shield. It stabbed in the belly button. They're really shiny there. That's the image that I overlaid the coloured dots on. And it's cropped from that scene there. And that's the video that I stole the scenes from, because I steal scenes. It helps me. What was my first car? My first car was a Mini Miner, and I've owned 9 of them since then. I love the old Mini Miners because I found a way that emulate my browser to be a USA one, so you can watch ads now. Just didn't know how the bits actually worked. Oh, okay, cool. We may need to have a look at that, because there's lots of people I would like to support with giving them cheers. But I'm running a bit low on the dough, if you know what I mean. No, we also have to get that. The boss painted as well. That's that little dome that goes right in the centre of the shield at the front. So all of this stuff will get taken out the back and get hit with some rubber sealant first. Actually, I haven't sealed this yet with the heat gun, so that's got to be done. Close up the pores in the foam with the heat gun, make it all nice and shiny before painting. They will ban you from Twitch for doing that. Oh, that's a shame. Just after you move to the US of A then. Okay, so they're all pinned down and ready to spray. Well, they get coated with first, as I use this stuff, flexible rubber coating. because what do you call it? Plasti dip. Pretty exy over here, and is only available selectively through some car repair shops. None of which I have in close proximity to me. So. Glue the loose bit around the shield over. He'll give you the thank you. Just do a PayPal donation, yep. I have a link there down below the video screen if that is something that you'd like to consider. You're more than welcome to throw straight into PayPal. Been using that to buy materials which helps me out a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and paint with glue, and then I'm just going to run around with the box cutter and cut slots so that it'll wrap over properly. I could, if I did not have $200 worth of warbler to buy. I've got some thermoplastic sitting over there from the company that sponsors me. Well, will be sponsoring me once they start supplying foam. So I get to have a practice with thermoplastics. I've never used them. I'm very comfortable with what I can do with my foam at the moment. And again, here in Australia, warbler is a little more expensive. We do have some thermoplastics available to us here though. There's absolutely no need to be donating and stuff. It's an option there for those people who like to or can afford to. It's not like compulsory viewing. Cheap, easy to obtain stuff. Indeed. Like foam. And glue. And cloth and steel wire and leather. Oh yeah, right, leather's really cheap. Well, you're being sarcastic. I find leather extremely expensive. That's why, one of the reasons why I use all this fake suede and fake leather. Yeah, I have contact cement on my fingers. I do not want to contact cement my fingers together. Okay, let's put some slots. Around this puppy. You pay $35 for a 4 by 5. What, 4 foot by 5 foot or 4 inch by 5? Wow, man. Oh, not in that shelf. That little bag of scraps cost 16 bucks. You paid $9 for the same size bag. Australia, mate. Well, there's not a big enough piece in there to make a wallet out of. They're all offcuts, they're all weirdly bloody little weirdy shapes in there. But hey, it's there should I have a project that some of it fits. Maybe binding a dagger handle or something. It doesn't have to be real pretty because there's another layer of foam to be stuck on the inside of the shield here. But I'm not putting that on yet until a little bit later in the process. Morning, procrastination props. How the devil are you, my friend? Might just have to put another slot in that one there. Got home from work. Have to go back out again in 4 hours' time. Well, you little party animal, you. Cheerful greeting to you. Insert your name here. Oh yeah, I'm still working away on commissions, which is good. This is the shield that goes along with the Highlander sword. You got the day off tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's a Sunday. So I'll be busy crafting my little rosy red ring off. And being a Sunday, it's build day here, which means that my fellow cosplayers from around the neighbourhood all congregate on my place and build. Yeah, it is actually sunlight behind me. It's 4:45 in the afternoon. It burns. That's a shame. The glue soaked right through and glue back. It burns this. Nasty sun burns this. I know, I very seldom stream at this time of the day. So there we go, that's the base of the Macleods Shield.